Hi everyone, I hope you are enjoying your Messy Church packs. This month we are thinking all about getting closer to God and a time called Lent. Now Lent is 40 days and it starts the day after Pancake Day. So some of you might have had your pancakes already. It's day after Pancake Day and we have 40 days and then we celebrate Easter. Now, Lent is a time where we can get closer to God. Some people do that by giving things up. And every time they really want that thing, they pray, they talk to God, and they get closer to God. We can use this time of Lent to pray, to spend more time chatting to God, telling God our worries, or telling God how much we love him, or all sorts of things. There's loads of different ways that we can talk to God. So today I'm going to show you one way that you can pray during this time of Lent. And you need 5 fingers. So we start off with our thumb, and our thumb is closest to us, okay? So we can pray for those people who are closest to us. So that might be the grown-ups that live in your house or the other children that live in your house. It might be your closest friends at school. It might be a grandparent. The people that we are closest to are friends and family. So have a quick think. Can you think of someone that you would like to pray for that is closest to you? Wonderful. Next we've got our second finger is our pointing finger. So with our pointing finger, we're going to pray for people who point us in the right direction. So that might be our teachers. It might be some of our grown-ups that help us in the right direction. So we can pray for them. And you might want to pray particularly for your teachers at the moment if they're trying to teach you whilst you're at home, or your grown-ups trying to teach you whilst you're at home, because that's a little bit tricky, isn't it? We're all finding it a bit tricky. So that's what we can pray for with our pointing finger. So can you think of someone you might like to say a prayer for or thank God for with your pointing finger? Then we've got our tallest finger, okay? And with this finger, we're going to think about the people who lead and the people who are in charge, because it's our tallest finger. So we can think about perhaps the people who lead our country. We might want to say some prayers for them at the moment, because it's a really hard thing to lead a country with this virus going around, lots of people being poorly and us having to do things very differently. So we could say a prayer for them that God will help them in everything that they do. Or we could pray perhaps that they make sure that they look after other countries as well, not just our country, but the countries that don't have as much as we do. And that leads us on to our next finger. This finger is actually your weakest finger. So it's not very strong, this finger. So this finger, we're going to think about people who aren't feeling very strong, okay? People who might feel a bit poorly, a bit sad, a bit lonely. Can you think of anyone that you might want to pray for that maybe needs more of God's help, more of God's love? So that's what we pray for with our weakest finger. And lastly, we've got our smallest finger. And with our smallest finger, we think of ourselves. So we might want to ask God for something. We might want God to show us more love. We might want God to be closer to us in this time of Lent. There's all sorts of things we can ask God for ourselves. So that's what we do with our little finger. So have a think. Is there anything you would like to ask God for yourself? So that's our 5-fingered prayer. We think of those who are closest to us, those who point us in the right direction, those, the tallest, the ones that lead us, the ones that don't feel so strong, and for ourselves. So those are the 5 different prayers we can say using our fingers. Why don't you give it a go?